Sita is a wonderful child. She has an imagination that rivals great authors. She can just sit in her room and think of millions of things to do.
I don't worry that Best might get beaten up at school. It's more likely that Best will beat someone up at school.
I worry that my son might drown. An old lady drowned in the river.
We've followed 3 Thai kids as they prepare for the big day. How do we give children the best start?
When children walk into a classroom, there's a certain set of expectations the teachers have of what these children are able to do when they walk in the door. If children don't have that, they're not going to succeed initially at school. If we can prepare more children to make that transition, their education will start off much more smoothly, and they may have fewer problems down the line.
When the day ends, time for a preliminary verdict from their teachers.
Sita, she can just sit in her room and think of millions of things to do. She's energetic, she's outspoken, she's a leader.
Best is having a problem with the transition from home to school. His new primary teacher has a quiet word with his old preschool teacher.
Best's knowledge is okay, but his behavior needs modification. He keeps moaning whenever his dad's around.
Tanner Korn is having his own struggle.
The first day, Tanner Korn is not confident. He can't show what he knows. It might also be because of language. Everything is new for him. You have to keep asking him.
Is he different to others?
He does not speak much. He is not making friends either.
With their different backgrounds, our 3 kids have got off to a different start. We've seen how science is making new discoveries about the importance of the early years. But while the Millennium Development Goals speak of child mortality, nutrition and universal primary education, they don't even mention early childhood development.
Governments ignore the early years at their peril. It's a curious thing that most people recognise just what the importance of the early years are in everyday life with their own children, and spend huge amounts of attention trying to get it right during those precious years of the early years. But in policy terms, actually, the early years have always been neglected. And failing to look for effective ways of improving children's life prospects and their quality of life now, which is that human rights principle, is something that governments cannot ignore.